Welcome everybody to the Intro to Technology Systems. Today we're going to be rolling back right to the beginning. All our new agents that have started with us over the last year, or when you did start with us, we went through something. We first had a orientation, and then went through our Quick Start program. And what I'm going to do today is just roll that back for anybody that's been with the company, and really anybody who would like, but really the purpose of today was anybody who's been with the company that hasn't been able to engage in some of the core systems that we have, the main systems that, I sort of want to go back and say, yeah, you've been disconnected, or I know you guys got a lot of things going on, but just, I wish I could just start back from the beginning. So, there is a ton of systems. So when I was thinking about the topics to go over today, I didn't want to overcomplicate it. I didn't want to go into all the things that I get all excited about and to talk about often and make it too overly complicated, because I do know when you're first building out or you're rebuilding out a foundational system within real estate, it's important to get one thing done and move to the next and really start from the priority items. So this seminar is going to give you the opportunity to do that. So I'm going to be going over three main topics today. First one being Google. And it's our main platform that Century 21 Canada has provided us with. Many of the franchises and Century 21 franchises across Canada run their businesses much differently than others. But one thing that's consistent is with the systems that is provided to us as a whole. And Google is one of those systems. It really is our communication hub, right? It's our emails. It's a lot of our apps that they give us are on their system. So I want to make sure that everybody has that opportunity to re-engage or engage with our Google platform, namely to start off with your email address. So we'll get that going, and we'll go through that very, very carefully, so that as to make sure that everybody just really kind of understands how that all works. And what I'd like to do is to obviously open up the floor to everyone at the end to ask any questions, and that I can go back through and show you any of the any questions you have. So take notes as we go, and I'll try and just go as slow as possible, just to make sure that I'm not whipping around because I use it every day. It just seems to be, if you ever watch anybody on a computer that is consistently using one system, their mouse just goes click, 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 and you're like, whoa, hold on a sec. So I'll do my best not to do that today. The nice thing is this will be recorded, so that if there is something you want to review again, that you can go back and have a look at it on our YouTube channel. Okay, which again, I'm going to also talk to you a little bit about, which is a YouTube channel. The second system that I really want to spend time on just getting more familiar with is Remarketer. We have at Century 21 Heritage a very unique platform in the sense that we wanted to provide all our agents best-in-class technology with regards to websites and CRM. So we took it upon ourselves during the lockdown last year in COVID to research, find the best system, implement the best system, and really work towards a long-term solution for you in the GTA and Hamilton areas, to have something that is local, something that provides local information, local platform, local news articles, but best-in-class systems, so that if somebody's on your website, it compares to the best websites out there, even the $1 million sites that are on the market. So I believe it is that solution. I think it's very good at what it does. Century 21 provides a website and CRM, but it is a franchise provided CRM and site, which has limitations to what we can do and pivot and offer in terms of service. So the nice thing is you have the Century 21 system, either to go and have two, or if Remarketer is just not working for you and you like what Century 21, you have that option. So you can have both, or you can have that option. But what we do is really put the effort into showing one system and saying this is better than the Century 21 system, which I wholeheartedly believe. It's easier as well. It's got some really cool technology features that the Century 21 just isn't able to provide on a mass scale. So that's the Remarketer system, which is your website, and your CRM. And if anyone is unfamiliar what a CRM is, I have to remind myself, right? So CRM is a word that not everybody is familiar with. It's a client retention management system, client retention management. And what that does is it keeps people reminded that you're a realtor. You're a realtor. Here I am, right? And it also provides a platform for us to, do things like newsletters. It's to make sure that people are staying in touch with you and organizing you and your contact list. And everyone should have something that organizes them and reminds people that you're in the business. So that's what a CRM is. And the last one, and I put it last because I didn't want to state BrokerBay as something that you need to know today. But it is our key platform for our communication between the agents, as well as all your listings. And if there's somebody here that has a listing on the market, if you're not using BrokerBay, I think you're missing out on a really good opportunity to better organize your listings, your showings, your feedback. So BrokerBay was an important one I wanted to show today, specifically on maybe a mobile app. So those are the three key ones we're going to talk about today. And of course, I'll also go into a little bit of information as to how to get in touch with some of the other technology as well, and learn about it. Okay, so going right back before we introduce the first one, which is Google, I want to let everybody know training resources for today's session, as well as any other session or anything else that you're looking to learn in terms of technology, is all on our Century 21 Heritage Group training site on YouTube. So most should know how to get into YouTube. And if you don't, we'll probably have to have a separate conversation, okay? Because YouTube is the video platform of the world, and you should be able to get onto YouTube, hopefully. So when you're on YouTube, just go in and type in Century 21 Heritage Group Training, and you'll see our logo, and you'll click on it and hit subscribe, and maybe save it as a bookmark on your browser, trying to save, so that you can go. There's other ways to get there. I'm going to show you in a bit, but having this resource is great. The other thing I wanted to show you on this YouTube site is there's a little magnifying glass there. You're welcome to go and click on videos and playlists and channels and stuff. But if you're looking for, let's say, Authentisign, you need to learn Authentisign. If you click on that and type in Authentisign, it will come up within our channel. We have 190 videos that we've done over the last year, and they are all available in there for you to search and find the right information. If we're missing something, let me know. I'll do a video. We've really built out a great video library for the agent to, at any point in time, engage with. The nice thing about our training channel, there's obviously, you can Google any of this information, but we really relate it to your business in the GTA. We relate it to our company at Heritage Group. So there may be other sites out that teach you how to use Authentisign, but I will tell you, web forms, for example, our web forms is different than any other company because we build out templates and make it easier for you. So it's important that you sort of learn the way that we're doing things rather than the way that just it works. However, there are a lot of resources out there if you just want to watch some videos. Okay, let's talk about Google Workspace. Workspace is formerly known G Suite, okay? Everybody knows what Google is, but I don't know if we all know that Google has an account feature. To have a Google account is to get access to all the Workspace features with Google. If you were just to type in Google right now and sign yourself up with a Google Gmail account, okay, a Gmail address, they will give you an account and you'll be signed in. And I'm going to show you how this works, but it's just good to know the overview of how Google works, right? Our business suite, formerly G Suite, that we give you from Century 21 is your Century 21 account with Google. So when you're in it, all the features that I'm going to show you are associated with that account. If you're signed in using your other Gmail account, it's going to look completely different. In fact, it's not upgraded to all the business tools. So I think the business suite, which is what we have as Century 21 as a brand, is about $13, $15 a month value wise. I think US dollars, probably about $20 a month. That if you were to have your own Gmail account and you wanted to upgrade to get all access to all the docs and like all the extra stuff, you would have to pay more. So there is value there to have the Century 21 email address and the sign-in account with Google. So essentially how to get started using Google is you go to google.com, and everybody does that every day almost, I think. If you're on the internet, you'd be hard pressed not to be using Google unless you have the problem that I have, which is there's other search things and Bing keeps showing up and I keep having to try and get rid of a different search that I don't like. I like Google. So log into your Google Workspace, use your Century 21 email address. Okay, and your Century 21 email address has all been associated with you. Everyone has it, and it's really the same for everyone. So if you ever wanted to email somebody something from our company, if you know their first and last name, you just your first name dot last name at century21.ca. That's your email address. It's also the way you're going to log in to a lot of the features, and that's all through Google. Okay, so that's what you're going to use if you don't know your password, because you've been with us a while and we gave it to you in the orientation, but things get lost, forgotten, etc. You can ask us for a password reset. Most of everyone in admin should be able to do that for you. If there's any problems, one of your managers, admin, will get you the answer. And by the way, at the end of this, there's a one-stop shop for technology email, which is customer.support@century21.ca, and that's Debbie, and she can always get you the answer. She'll forward it to the right person or get you the answer. But it's very easy. You could call a friend and say, "Listen, I just need to reset my email address," and we go in and just reset it, give you a new password, and then you change it upon logging in. So no problem getting you that reset. Okay, once you're signed in, you'll notice the Google Apps icon in the top right-hand corner. We're going to show you that right now. Well, actually, first, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Gmail account. So it's what I just went over. So first dot last name at century21.ca. The reason why I typed this out is just to know that the reasoning behind the email address is not just to get you onto our systems. It's very easy for us to email any one of you because we know your email address. Very consistent as well for you. It's professional. It does silent marketing. It says Century 21 in there. If you use it even for your personal life, it's great because you send it to anybody. Oh, you're a Century 21. You have no idea how many people have done business because they bought something through, the corner, let's say furniture store, and the person, you give them their email address because they want to, email you the invoice, and you use the Century 21, and they go, "Oh, you're a real estate agent. I'm looking for a house in Newmarket. Can you help me?" And all of a sudden, you sell a house because you had a Century 21 branded email account. So we really do feel that it's the best one to use. I feel that is definitely the best marketing, one of the best marketing tools that you have. So that's a good reason. It's respected, trusted, Century 21. It is a Gmail account, which nobody does. Gmail, nobody does that better, really. I know we do get spammed. We get it. We get hacked and all the rest of it. But Gmail, if you're going to be with a system that has a lesser chance of it, Gmail's a good one. Access, it can be shared with Realtor and admin. So access to everything. And I'm going to go over sort of access in a minute. Because we know everybody's email address, we can give access to all the different features. I think it's mainly connectivity, most connected, universal application, calendar bomb. We'll go through that. So, but this is the Gmail account that you're given. And some people choose to forward it. Okay, so there is a forwarding feature, which means I don't want to send it out to Century 21. I don't want to give out the Century 21. I'll just forward it to my other Gmail account or to my Hotmail account, etc. I will tell you, if you give out a Hotmail account, they're going to look at you and go, "Oh, you're not techie." Hotmail, I'm just telling you from, it's not to disparage Microsoft because they bought it and Outlook and all the rest of it. But as far as if I see somebody using a Hotmail account, I'm like, oh yeah, you set that up like 20 years ago. Somebody actually came in as a real estate agent with us, and there, it was something very, very like hotstuff44@hotmail.com. It's like, you better not be using that for your professional email. It's more professional to be using, and even Gmail to that point. People, when you use a Gmail, they go, okay, that's a personal account, right? So let's talk about what it looks like. And I will be going over to use some of the features, but I put out the slides to be very generic here to make sure that everyone can see exactly where to go. So when you go into Google today, this is what it'll look like. And if you go to the right-hand side up at the top, I've got a picture of myself, okay, because I added it. Okay, yours may not have a picture. It might just say, if your name's Rita, it's going to say R for Rita, okay? But if you click on it, or if you just even hover over top of it, it'll tell you what account that you're on. So it'll say Century 21. Some of them will say Century 21 actually as a generic, so that you know that you're on your Century 21, okay? There is a lot of times that you'll be going between different things on your computer, and your computer's been signed into 3 different Gmail accounts. So sometimes you'll be wondering, well, where is everything? You got to always check that top right-hand side where the picture or the initial is, or Century 21 is, just to make sure that you're signed into your account. I'm going to show you that in a sec. But for this, what I've done on the screen here is this is what I'm going to denote as the waffle. So if everybody remembers waffle, you'll know what I mean when I say click on the waffle. Kind of looks like a waffle. Okay. So this is the waffle. If you click on that, you're going to get access to all the different workspace. It was workspace, workplace, G Suite. They're all going to denote the fact that this is all the apps associated with your account at Century 21. So you'll have access to your email through that Gmail account. You'll have access to a drive. Okay. And if you ever want to, really use a cloud, I give you the answer. Really want to use a techie term, this is all cloud-based applications. And what cloud-based means, all these they're not installed on your computer. Okay. Anything that's not installed, you remember, if any remembers back in the day, you'd install programs. You'd actually buy the programs from like Radio Shack or whatever you were buying their programs from, Staples, or anyways, you buy them, you put the DVD in or the CD in, and you have to install it on your computer. Okay. That's on your computer. One, that's not an app. Okay. That was a program. So now we call it apps, because that denotes that it is a cloud-based, which means it's not hosted, it's not stored, it's not on your computer. It's actually on another computer way back, probably in California. But the nice thing for that is, because it's all in one spot, offshore, not on your computer, you can access this from any computer in the world and finish off what you were working on from your other computer. So when I do work, I actually did a document on my computer yesterday. I went into our Thornhill office today. I went to open my document, and I had done it on a Mac-based something called Pages. And I'm like, oh no, I don't have access. I should have done it on a document through G Suite. And that's because I can share it amongst all my devices. And you can also share it with other people. And then when they work on it, they're working on your document, and it's all shared. So having a cloud-based system is extremely efficient. And saves you from a bunch of heartache. And we've all been probably back in university or high school, lost that paper you worked on for a week because your computer deleted it or something happened. Well, within the cloud-based system, it's almost impossible to delete it, because even if you delete it, these systems are so good that you can go back and say, yeah, I want to scroll back and get a previous version or something I deleted. So it even has that backup features. Really, really good. Okay. And that's why you're going to be on this system. And Century 20 provides this system for us. In a minute, I'm going to go and sort of show you some of the different things, but I'm just going to get through the slides more so just for the basic overview of the presentation stuff. So Google, email, and access to these apps. Actually, what I'm going to do before I get into Remarketer, I am going to go over to Google. So I'm just going to flip over, type in Google, and I'm going to show you how that relates to your Century 21 stuff. So this is Google. Everybody should recognize that. Remember what I said about go up in the top right-hand side and just hover. It says my Google account is Eryn Richardson, Eryn.Richardson@century21.ca. I know I'm signed in to my Century 21 email address. That means I know that if I click on the Google apps, all these are associated with that account. All these little apps within, okay? The ones that you'll use most often, of course, your Gmail. And then again, if you're looking to do a document and you want to keep it separate from your personal stuff or whatever, it's all real estate related. You can go in and put a document into here in your sheets and this is PowerPoint. Sheets is Excel, if you're familiar with Excel. Slides is PowerPoint. Here's a calendar, Google Calendar. Some great features if you decide to use in your Google Calendar. It has a Zoom-based program called Meet. When I say Zoom, we all use Zoom. I don't know you do because you're on a Zoom now. Google provides something called Meet. And it wasn't as good as Zoom when we first started, so we chose Zoom. But I think if we had started today, we'd probably be using the Meet just to keep it all Google because it's that good. It's really easy to use. So if you're ever meeting with somebody to look over an offer, you can click on Meet and you can share your screen. You can do what I'm doing today, right? And you can go through the offer with somebody. So that's great. It gets into other stuff like having sites. I think that's a website thing. I don't use it. Contacts. Interesting enough, within the Century 21 system, if you put your professional contacts in here, this is where other programs can talk to your contacts. We're going to be using Remarketer, so don't worry too much about this for your CRM, but it does provide that feature. It has groups and search and your business. If you want to be found on Google, that's another one to look at. There's photos, there's chat. These are things that I don't really use on a daily basis, this stuff, including what we're going to get to here. Some of this other stuff. YouTube's on there because Google owns YouTube. So it's interesting to teach a little bit about, again, Google. When you're on any of these apps, and I said they're associated with your Century 21 account, have you ever gone onto YouTube and you get suggested all these videos about, if you like boating, you get suggested boating videos? Well, YouTube associates this account. Okay, and if you're on YouTube, if I clicked on YouTube, anything related to the stuff you've searched will show up for this account. So that's why if you're on Century 21 and you're all real estate related YouTube videos will be on there if you're searching real estate related videos. If you're on your other Gmail account or whatnot, you're signed into Google, or you're just signed into Google you're not even signed into Google, you won't have access to your browsing history for your real estate related stuff. So that's YouTube. And then all these other things. And really don't worry about any of this stuff, right? You've got maps and ads and there's forms in there, Google Earth. These are all different apps that can be overwhelming that they're all on there, but don't worry about them. There's a line here, and these are the apps that are added to. So these are the ones that come with your account. And then what Century 21 does, they add some apps here for you. I've added Asana. It won't be on yours. That's something separate. But what Century 21 adds is some other technology. Back at You Media, which is a social media platform, their Campus 21 training site, so videos for Century 21 is on here. Hub 21, which is their Century 21's website and CRM, is there. So if you want to click on that and get in and start up your Century 21 site and stuff, that's what you can do. The production reports are there. The resources are there for the resource center. Real Satisfied's there. This is all the technology here that Century 21 has added to your account so that it's all one sign-on. As long as you're signed in your Century 21 email account, you can get access to all these. You don't need to know the extra passwords or anything. They're all connected. Okay. The nice thing is I am going to show you what we've done with Remarketer in order to make this even easier for you. But I wanted to let you know that when a little more information about the fact that you have a Century 21 account, it's with Google, and allows you to sign into some of the stuff that Century 21 Canada does give us, okay? So this is Google, and that's the first step in getting connected to our systems. The next step, I'm just going to go back over to, is our Remarketer system. Okay, so just a review of what Remarketer is. It is your website, your third-party website, we'll call it. When I say third-party website, it's not a Century 21 Canada given to you franchise site. We have gone outside of the Century 21 system, researched, found a great company that's able to really do a lot for us, but not only that, pivot very quickly. If I want something done, I can get it done. If I want this feature, they fix it. We have control of it, which has been an amazing thing over the last year, because we've made lots of great upgrades and updates and stuff. So it's your website, okay, and your CRM system that we talked about, which is the client retention management solution or system. And there's more marketing systems in there. Okay, there's systems will help you cultivate, nurture, sphere of influence, contracts, new business. If you want to make more money in this industry, the easiest thing for me to do with an agent, if I sit down and coach them and say, would you like to double your income next year? Let's say you're making $100,000 and you want to make 200,000. The first thing I ask you is, okay, how many people are on do you have for a book of business, also known as a sphere of influence? And they said, well, I don't know. And that's the first indication is I can double their business. If you don't know your number, I can double your business, no problem. Okay, it's the easiest thing to do, because if you don't know your number, that means you're not organized enough to be able to set up the systems in place in order to engage where 85% of your business every single year comes from, which is the people that already know you. It's a lot easier, obviously, to convince somebody that you're the person that's going to help them find a house if they know you already. So a lot of people are saying, I've tried an online lead generation system. I said, great, you're going to be speaking to 500 people over the next month, strangers who don't want you to call, and you're going to try and convince them to use you. Good luck. It's going to take you a lot of time, effort, headache, heartache, and then you're finally going to come back and go, well, that didn't work, because that's what 98% of the people do. Okay. There is a way to make money from that, but it's a fully and complete solution that should be done way down the road. That is just something that is a plug-in to your current and already business. We might be able to do a bit more business from it, but right now in Canada, proven through so many different ways of statistics, that 85% on average of any agent's business is done through the people that know, the relationship-based stuff. Okay, so that's why you need a CRM system. The Remarketer system is the most important thing that you're going to have as a tool to increase your business by twofolds. To sign up, okay, there's a link. If you want to write that down, that's great. If for whatever reason you're not writing it down or you haven't signed up, you can go to our YouTube channel that I showed you before, right? You don't even have to sign into Google, but I suggest you start practicing doing that. Sign in, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, right? And then look at the very first line, and it's on the next page I'll show you. This is what it'll look like. The very first line is C21 Remarketer. It's a little video and show you what Remarketer does for you. The next one is signing up and getting started. You're going to click on signing up and getting started. The link is there. Okay. To sign up is even, the link is there. Okay. So going back, sign up. Then go to the training, watch the video, watch the contact manager video. You can set up the rest of your website. All the videos are in there. Okay. I am going to go over to Remarketer right now because I'm going to show you. And actually, I've got some slides to go through first, and I'll show you. Because as soon as you have it set up, actually, yeah, I'm going to get you just to write these down. Okay. These are the things I really want you to look towards doing as a homework assignment. If you can get this done, so sign up for the Google thing, get your email address working, make sure you have access to all those apps and everything. That's great. Next thing to do is sign up for Remarketer. These are the 4 things I really want to get you done doing. And if you've got this, you'll double your business as far as I'm concerned. Numbers aside, if you use the contact manager. The task manager will get you more organized and remind you to call people and stuff. The nurturing is what's going to send out your emails and newsletters and occasions. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And then the fourth one, newsletters. I should have highlighted a little thing that should say print on here. Print newsletters are super important. Okay. Email newsletters is going to send out for you. That's great. But the print newsletters are going to more impress people to remind them that you're in the business. So this is the sort of 4 tasks I really would like you to get done in order to get engaged. The contact manager is within the system. When you sign in, you'll see it. It says contact manager, add people. We can help you with the rest. We can't help you with the adding your people, right? We'll teach you how to use the system. We'll teach you how to sign up for the newsletter. We'll teach you how to set up the nurturing. All that sort of stuff can be done one-on-one with your manager. It can be done through the YouTube channel, but we cannot add people to your system. I'm super impressed with all our management team right now because Quick Start is what we're taking new agents through, and every agent's getting on boarded really well. And one of the things that that we're seeing more of that we haven't seen maybe in the past is people finishing Quick Start, which is those 6 sessions when you first start with us, and actually having this set up. And the more people that are going to have this set up and a newsletter going and contacting people for addresses and putting birthdays into the system, their business explodes. And, you get that person that comes back, and my business exploded as soon as I went. It was my first year. I'm glad I made the decision, first of all, with Century 21. Pam did it. Pam is our, you don't see as Pam as much anymore. She's my partner. But most of you should have probably seen Pam on some of our meetings and stuff. And Pam was really engaged with getting everybody's business up and going. And she did this great seminar for Sphere of Influence. And we continue to do that one, but she did a really good one for me back 16 years ago. And I signed up that day, right? It's almost like you're not allowed to leave this room unless you write your name down. We'll get you signed up. And I started with, I think, 40 people, right? I gave 40 addresses. And for 16 years, I've been sending a newsletter. They put the stamp on. I don't have to do anything. I just need to have something set up for them to go in, put the stamp on, do the newsletter, put it in an envelope.
Pam is here, Eryn.
Oh, perfect. There's Pam. If anybody hasn't met Pam yet, Pam, this is Pam. So Pam got me first year. Thank you, Pam, because I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for you. My business took off as soon as that first year was done. It took a year, right? Like it does. It takes a year to get things going. But as soon as I started putting the addresses in and sending out the newsletters, I started getting phone calls, right? And they said, yeah, I'm ready to buy, ready to sell. However it happens, they see my name, they know that I'm in the industry, and they know that they know that I'm doing business because I'm professional. I'm sending these news articles out. So that's where my business took off, and that's where I see agents' business taking off all the time. The numbers don't lie.
Can I interrupt 1 second here? I'm actually on Ron's computer, so you're seeing me as Ron. But I'm a statistician. I took statistics and math and everything and computers at university. So I always look at numbers. So here's how the numbers work. In Canada, say you have 100 people on your contact management system. Okay. In Canada, people move on an average of every 7 years or so, depending on their age group. So that means of those 100 people, 15 of them are going to be moving every year, and half of them will buy and sell. So that's like 22 deals you can make just from those people. And also in Canada, an average person knows 3 people who are going to buy or sell next year, so they could send you referrals. So say you got another 10 referrals. So now you're at 32 deals because of it. Half of them have to buy and sell. You're now at 37 deals because of it. If you make even, say, 20,000.
Oh, you broken up there, Pam.
$1,000 a deal times $30,000. Okay, and that's with 100 people. And why deal with 100 strangers when you can deal with 100 friends? And if they're getting a newsletter from you every month or so, if you're phoning them a couple of times a year and updating them, they aren't going to list with somebody else without contacting you first. So it really works. And somebody came to me one time and said, look at this person listed with somebody else. And I sold them that house 5 years ago. And they said that that I was their best friend and the best agent, and they'd never use anybody else at the time. And I said to them, okay. And so when's the last time you contacted them? And he went silent. And I said, well, one of two things. He's either forgotten your name, or he thinks you were just like the rest. You were just after the money. And once you got the money, you didn't care anymore. And so he doesn't like you anymore. And the guy went really quiet. And I said, so it was 5 years ago since you talked to him, right? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, this is your fault and not his.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so true, because you have to be reaching out to the people and sending these automatic emails. We write them for you. You don't even have to do anything. So it's fantastic. Now I'll shut up and give it back to you, Eryn.
No, Pam, I love it when you talk about it, because I gotta tell you, it was 16 years ago and we sat down and you gave the same speech, and I believed you and I did it and it worked. And we're not trying to sell you on this. We don't make money from this, right? This is the way we make money as a company. The way we profit and the way that our business plan works is to get you to make money. So we're here.
We don't make money from this. This costs us money to help them. We pay for it for you. It's free for you.
This is free to you, right? So, and yes, it does cost the company. So if you don't use it, it actually costs us money. Whereas if you do use it, we all share in the profits. So we want to make sure that you're on this system because of that. And anyway, going back to the technology piece, is that if you can put people into this system, we can help you. Okay. I just want to make it as simple as that. I don't want to teach you how to sign up. I don't want to teach you how to put the proper tagging in there so that they pull off the newsletter. That can be done. That's not a problem. What we need is we need you to put your people in the system so that we can say, okay, now you're able to make some money. Let's put some systems in place. And newsletter is just one of them, right? You're going to make a certain amount of calls. You're going to do a certain amount of pop buys. You're going to send out some news note cards. These are all great little systems. You can't do any of it unless you're organized, unless you have a system, unless you have addresses. It's your book of business. They're even getting to the point where people have such a good book of business built out over 30 years. When they retire, they sell it. They sell the book of business because here's an organized system with all the addresses and all the people, and I'm going to send out, and they sell it. So I will promote you as the person that's going to take over my business. So you need to be organized, depending on what part of your career. You're always going to make money from it. There is a section in there that it's your nurturing section. Again, this is not part of anything paid at this point. This is all given to you, right? You just turn on, all you have to do is turn on the newsletter, turn on the occasional greetings, and that will make sure a drip is happening on a consistent basis by email. I will tell you, email is 30% effective. So we know the numbers is, Pam went over the numbers very good, obviously, as to how you can make, 40 deals from 100 people, which is absolutely, I have a few business plans with a few agents that are doing exactly those numbers, 100 people, 40 deals. So it does work. But the numbers in this industry on average is 14% of your sphere. Okay. If you just put that's just what you're just on basic, right? So basic newsletter, occasional greetings. If you have 100 people, I know you can do 15 deals out of that, which is about 200,000, right? Especially with the price of houses these days, about 200,000. So you can make 200,000. If you want to make 400,000, you need to start doing the printed newsletter. You need to start doing pop buys and note cards. Okay. So your number is not going to be 14%. It's going to be 22% of your sphere is going to transact or give you referrals. Okay. So that's the nurturing part. And then we're going to get into BrokerBay. But before we go into BrokerBay, again, I just want to go over and I'm going to show you, first of all, I'm going to show you how to get signed up. Again, I just want to make sure that everybody is able to get access. So if I decide just to go into YouTube, click on YouTube. and I want you to search for Century 21. And look, even if maybe it just knows that I always search heritage group training, but we're ranking really high right now in our searches for Century 21 because of the amount of videos we have. So Century 20 heritage group training comes up right at the top, right? And in fact, a lot of our videos come up. So, but what you want to do is click on Century 20 heritage group training. Of course, subscribe to it. But the very first thing is just signing up and getting started with Remarketer. So you click on that video. Of course, I'm going to pause it because I don't want to listen to myself talk. And then you're just going to click on to get started the sign up. Okay. You're going to put your first, last email address, cell phone number. You're going to make a password. Okay. The profile you're going to set up, you're just going to give a little bit more information. It's going to ask you for your office and your office address. So you can Google your office address. You don't know your postal code and stuff like that. The package that you're going to have, I didn't want to go through all this, but the package you're going to go have is 3 sections. You'll see the free one, right? That's the first one. I think it's typically $70 and we give it to you. So you just select the free one and then you'll be set up. It's going to give it, it'll do its thing, send you an email, and then you'll be able to go in and start adding contacts and setting up the stuff within Remarketer. To do sort of everything to get your website up and going, I would suggest watching the other videos on here, okay? Because it will tell you different step-by-step how to use the system, set up your website and everything, starting right from signing up and getting started, okay? So that's what you're gonna do. Back over to the last technology piece I wanted to talk to you about. Again, we're not gonna spend a ton of time on BrokerBay, but I wanted to let you know this one because I think if you are listing a property, you are going to really take advantage of the mobile app. The mobile app is called BrokerBay. It's also a sign-in to, you can go to BrokerBay as a sign-in. I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you how to get into it first. Because you're now signed up with Remarketer, okay? So I'm just going to log into Remarketer for a minute. I didn't show this at the beginning. I'm showing it at the end, but there's something called the Brokerage Hub within Remarketer. This is access to all of our technology, and I will go through some of this at the end just as a wrap up. But in here is BrokerBay, so it's easy enough that if you're in Remarketer, you don't have to remember any of these website URLs, website addresses. You can just click on BrokerBay, and when you click on BrokerBay, you'll be able to sign in. Again, if you've forgotten your BrokerBay sign in, refer to your orientation or just call our front desk. We can reset it for you. You can even hit forgot password and it'll be your Century 21 email address and they'll just reset the password to get access. Okay, so that's how you do get access to BrokerBay. Okay, but what is BrokerBay? It is a full portal. It's a full program. Okay, that allows you to access your listings, open houses, notifications, internal networking, exclusive listings. It does quite a bit, but really what I want to focus on right now is if you have a listing, you should download the BrokerBay app and have it on your phone. What that allows you to do is see everything that's going on with your listing. You can edit your listing. You can change the comments about your listing. You can check to make sure the listing information is correct in our system. You'll see all of our appointments, your appointments for your listing. You can contact the cooperating agent from this app. You can even register all your offers on this system. It will help manage the offer process. That's why it's so important nowadays, because we are into multiple offers almost on every listing. And what this app will do for you, it is so easy to use, first of all. So don't worry about learning new technology. If you can just sign into it, it's pretty straightforward, okay? You've got this little section along the bottom. It'll give you the details of your property. It'll give you the appointments that you have coming up. It'll give you if there's any offers on your properties and the list of who's signed, who's registered. So you can register people, you can cancel registrations of people, you can contact people. It's really, really good, okay? So that would be a bit of technology that I would definitely think about if you've got a listing. Okay. So I wanted to mention that today as well. The top two, though, to get engaged with our systems, obviously, is definitely Google. Make sure your email's set up, make sure that's happening, as well as the Remarketer system, because that's what's going to affect your business in a positive way the most. Okay. So if you can get that far, you're set up with us. Okay. You're doing a good business with us. What I do want to mention, of course, is that we have a ton of other technology, and I know that it's overwhelming. Okay. I know there's a ton of it, but if you start at the beginning and get your emails set up and get on Google and get your Remarketer set up and start nurturing your contact list, sending out your newsletters and contacting people. This is a relationship business that will get you there. That alone, you can do $500,000 next year. Like, I mean, really, your business can act other than, I will say, through osmosis in this business, you have to learn web forms, right? You have to be able to do an offer. We get that. And there's lots of training, and Treb with their Stratus system, or Matrix with the Matrix system, searching for properties and finding properties. I mean, you're going to get there because you need to get there, right? The other stuff that never gets set up is the stuff that I'm talking about today, because yes, you could go out and sell a house tomorrow if you know web forms and your Stratus, right? Those are the two top systems, but we rely on Treb and Matrix and the different boards. I mean, they provide you that, right? And they have training, and they get on. So that should be already done. You should be able to do all that. And if you're not, there are, there's definitely more training on that. We definitely have a video for most of that, but really the two systems are those other two that I want you to get on. So it's Google, Remarketer. If you go to the brokerage hub in Remarketer, it shows you all the different systems that you can start to implement. As soon as you're comfortable, you've got your contact list set up and everything, you may decide at that point in time to really sort of take your business to the next level. If you want to focus on social media, that's what Back At You Media does, right, within the system. Let's start at the top. So BrokerBay, MoveSnap, okay, it's our heritage concierge service. That gives you more referrals because your roadmap for your buyer and seller includes a really great platform to help them move. And it's that awkward time between firming up and closing that there's no communication happening anymore. And this fills that gap. So it's a great service. We automate that for you. The Resource Center with Century 21's on there. The Marketing Center for Century 21's on there. The Back At You is your social media. The Real Satisfied will provide you a really good platform online for searching your name and finding a 5-star rating for you. We automate the testimonial and rating process so that you have a great reputation online. Currently, our company is at 99% satisfaction rating. Can't argue with that, right? We have a 99% satisfaction rating. The Spotlight listing package. Okay, when you get a listing, right? This is almost your full, really, when you go to win the listing, it wins you the listing because it's your full online marketing package for your listing. Okay. This is about the only thing on here other than the newsletter I'm just looking at that would be an additional charge, right? So maybe if you're printing in the Marketing Center, but all these services are provided for you. The listing package, should you decide to use Spotlight, which I highly suggest you do, you'll make sure that your online presence is 100% when you're listing a property, and you're going to be able to prove to your seller that you will drive more traffic, which drives more offers, which gives them more money. And that's what you should be really focusing on when you're in a listing presentation, is making them more money. And if you can do that with the Spotlight listing package. Please watch the Spotlight, any of these videos, and for that matter, but watch these videos on our YouTube channel. That'll show you what it does for you. The newsletter, so it's the same company that does the listing package, does our newsletter for us. We write it, print it, put it in the email, put it in the mail, send it out. So when we're signing up for that newsletter, this is where you're going to be clicking to sign up for that. The Campus 21 television for Century 21 is there, so it's more training. Our training channel with Heritage Group is there. Our Facebook group, We have over 400 of our agents on our group on Facebook that we often share great ideas, training schedule, etc. Make sure you click on that. The telelisting service, I think, is underutilized as one of our services. Right now, with what we've gone through in terms of less face-to-face, obviously, in the industry, especially from a prospecting standpoint, this gives us a great opportunity to select an area on a map and start calling. And it's actually got its own internal CRM system too, for reminders and follow-ups and all that sort of stuff. So this is a great system. This actually, cost-wise, is one of the most expensive systems we have for the company to provide you. It's not cheap to provide the system, and we just don't find enough people making those phone calls these days, right? So if you're ever looking for an opportunity to get business today, to meet new people, to put into your sphere of influence someday, telelisting is great because again, you can't go door knocking right now, and you know, it gives you the platform to do it. I'm just going to leave it at that. So that's a good one. So there's lots of technology. It is overwhelming. Try not to do everything at once, but go back to the beginning and prioritize. Get connected with us. Make sure that you can get our training and get our emails with Google. Get onto the Remarketer system, set up your website, and get that CRM going for you. As soon as that CRM is going for you, more business will happen. And then you can start, you know, putting together, yes, I want to work on my social media for the next month. So I'm going to find out how to use Back at You, right? And then the following month, as soon as that's done, maybe you move to Real Satisfied. If you got a listing, you're going to use the Spotlight listing package. So that's where all our technology is located. That's all. A lot of this, most of this is single sign-on, which means you just have to be signed into Google in order to get into it. There's only a few there's only a few of that are not connected, like Spotlight and I think BrokerBay, where you have to actually sign in with a different password. Same with telelisting. So these are add-ons. But what I'd like to do now, I think, let me just make sure. Oh yeah, I wanted to let everyone know that we have tons and tons of support here. We have 12 or 13 people on our management team that are non-selling managers. They specifically, all they do is help agents build their business. So, and you have your manager, and all our managers are very, very busy. So what we've got to support you, if you have any technical questions and you want to be pointed in the right direction, we decided to really have one person that looks after our customer support. She's excellent, and that's Debbie. So you can contact Debbie at any point in time, call our office, ask for Debbie, or you know, you can email customer.support@century21.ca. She'll be able to point you in the right direction, help you with what you need to be helped. But she's really great in following up. You'll always get a response from Debbie because she is very organized. So if you have any support questions with regards to any of this, you can contact Debbie. Of course, our managers are there as well. We all have our strengths as to what we focus on. So I'm a little more techie than some of them, and some of them are a little more commercial oriented or pre-construction oriented, or, you know, all that sort of stuff. I always call Peter for FinTrack, for example, or Isabel if I've got a clause question. So everybody has their strengths. But Debbie's available. Of course, Tina, as always, is always a nice resource for as well. And she's on the line today doing with our training and everything. So, but that customer support email is always good to use. Thank you so much for watching. If you like our video, please hit the like button, the subscribe, and even the little bell to get notifications, just so you can stay in touch and watch more of these great videos.